Welcome back to reviewing this. Today we are taking a look at the Lifx light bulbs. Now, if you've seen my previous video, we've previously reviewed the Lifx LED strip, which I absolutely love, and I've even mentioned that I'll be purchasing the light bulbs quite soon, and finally I have. So in front of us we have two of the Lifx light bulbs. These are the BR30s type, which are meant for indoor and outdoor use. And so let's begin by unpackaging them. So pick this one up. All we have to do is pull out the top, and that's it. So we do have the light bulb in here. This is basically the face of it. Let's try to just pull this out as gently as possible. There really is nothing to really grab onto, so you should be as gentle as possible. And likely do this over a table or a couch, something soft, just in case it falls out of your hands. So just try to be, there we go. We just screw it off. It comes right off. So here's the light bulb, and inside we will also find a very small little manual. Except for that, it's completely empty. Now, I've said this before with the LED strips. Lifx does put quite a lot of emphasis on the packaging. It looks good, it feels good. This is made out of cardboard and it's very thick. The designs are really nice on it, as well as the features that display on the label. So we put this off to the side. The manual, I mean, it's mostly like a warning label as to when you should use it and so on. But here's the light bulb. First impressions, it's absolutely massive. I really did not expect for the BR30 to be this large. Here is a light bulb that actually came with the apartment. That was placed up top. Look at the size difference between the two. That's a remarkable difference. On top of that, this light bulb came with the apartment. It emits 330 lumens compared to 1100 lumens that the Lifx light bulb emits. What does that basically mean? This one emits 330 particles of light per second, or what the Lifx emits 1100. You're looking at almost 3 times more light being emitted per second from the Lifx bulb as opposed to this one. Now, I'm not sure which one this is, the brand of it. I believe it's a Philips, but just so you understand the difference between how bright these bulbs can really get. So I guess the very next step now is let's get them out. Alright, so if you notice in the background, we do have the 2 lights on already once we hit the light switch on, so do keep in mind the lights can work without you connecting it to your phone. But in our case, we will, simply because we want to change the color and use various options. So let's begin by going to the Lifx app. Now do keep in mind, you can kind of see the LED strip underneath the cabinets. We do have that added in as under kitchen at the moment on screen. So if we move over to the right hand side over here and press on the plus option, there's an option to connect the light, which we will click on, and it tells us a few steps here. Plug in and power on your Lifx bulb, and it is at the moment, and then go to our Wi-Fi settings, to our Wi-Fi, and then we have to join the Lifx bulb network. And if there's a password, that's the password. That's typically the generic password for all bulbs. So now that we know, we will head over to our settings, to our Wi-Fi, and we will look for the bulbs, which are right here. As you can see, Lifx BR30. There's 2 of them. I'm guessing we will have to add each one independently. I'll see that in a second. So we're connected to the first one. Let's go back to Lifx, and there you go. Just by connecting it to its network, it's now loading into the app itself. Preparing new light, adding final touches. This will take less than a minute. Please keep the screen open until the light flashes. So once this bulb finishes, we'll move on to the next one. Alrighty, so it finally connected, and now it is asking for us to connect to our own Wi-Fi network.
Now we do have a lot of Wi-Fi networks around us, so ours isn't showing up at the moment. I did have the same issue with the LED strip, that you have to sometimes just simply wait for them to load in other Wi-Fi networks. So now the light has finally connected, and as you can see right here, it says Lifx bulb and then a small number after that. What we have to simply do now is click on the bulb itself. As you can see, it actually turns off in the background, so it is successfully connected. But once we click on the small arrow next to the name, we will enter the screen here to regulate it. But on top it does say claim. You will always find this for any new bulbs, LED strips connected to your Lifx app. You will have to click on claim. In doing so, you will be able to give it a custom name. In my case, I will simply name it Kitchen Left. And I can place it in a group. Let's see, I'll leave it in the home group for this moment, and I'll simply press on claim, press on done, go back to the main screen, and now we have it. Now we have a kitchen light, which is the LEDs, which you can see moving, and now we also have one of the new Lifx bulbs. I'll now proceed in connecting the secondary bulb. So I just connected the second bulb, and I've also renamed all bulbs and created a group for them. I will first go over how the group was created. So if we scroll lower, you will see that we have an option here for all groups, the kitchen LED, and our top lights. Now if we click on, let's say we go to, if you do want to make a group, let's say we go to our kitchen light, which is actually our LED strip, and if we go over to edit, we're able to, and then you click on group, you're able to simply select what group you want that light to be in, or you can create a new group, and when you add lights to that group, you're able to control all those lights at the same time. So in our case, I've added all the 2 new lights into the same group called top lights. So if I click on this group now, I'm able to control both lights at the same time. Now if you've watched my LED strip review, you will know how the pinwheel here works, where we can simply use the dimming feature or select between the different whites. On this screen, we're able to select different colors. As you can see, it's moving in the background. Same thing here, we can dim it or increase the intensity. If we go over to themes, these are pre-selected color schemes chosen by Lifx. The bulbs themselves should be different tones when we use them, between the left and the right. We're also given the opportunity to, let's go back to the bulbs, we're also given the opportunity to actually make your own themes, even though it's actually not, as a matter of fact, make your own themes is only available on the LED strip. I noticed it's not available on the bulbs itself. It makes sense though. And if we go over to the effects category, there's several different effects that you may want to use, such as, let's go to candle flicker. In this case, as you can tell, the lights are flickering. You are able to control how often they flicker, how deep they flicker, and at what color, based on the original color that you ended up using on this screen. There's color cycle, which will basically cycle different colors. Music visualizer, which will basically pulsate the lights based on the music that's being heard through the microphone on your phone. Spooky is relatively close to candle flicker. It's just a little bit more random in terms of the pulsating. Strobe is the following, so it's not going to be used too often. Alright, so my overall opinion on these Lifx light bulbs, I love them. I mean, they look good. They're absolutely ginormous. So before you make this purchase, make sure you look at the dimensions, make sure it's going to fit into those sockets that you spin them in, because I'll be honest with you, I was pretty lucky that they fit there, because they are relatively big. They're not narrow whatsoever, and thankfully I did get the BR30s as opposed to, I believe it's the A19s.
They look great, and as you know, they do provide over 1 million different lights with quite a few white options and full of effects that come along, and especially the fact that Lifx actually continuously updates their app to include new themes. It's pretty cool of them altogether. Now, if you're interested in purchasing it, it's actually relatively tough nowadays. I got these off Amazon for about $59.99. They do sell out relatively fast, but I will leave a link on the screen right this moment if you're interested in purchasing them. And I do highly suggest also looking at the Lifx LED strips. I do have them on right now. I'm not sure if you can actually see them, but those are really amazing, especially the fact that you control every little light on that strip and give it any color that you want. I'm actually looking to purchase about 2 more strips and place them in different parts of the apartment because they really do a fantastic job in terms of design and looks. Overall, Lifx did a fantastic job with the bulbs. I'm really happy that I got them. And if you have any questions about the product whatsoever, feel free to leave me a comment. If you learned anything from this video, please leave a like and subscribe. I will also have a written review of the Lifx light bulbs on my own blog, which I will link right there. So if you're interested in seeing maybe some HD photos of the packaging, of the light bulbs, of the scenery behind me, I will have everything there, as well as more detailed text in terms of specifications of the bulbs all together. With that, thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.